In this video, we're going to discuss some old Wizard101 features and content that has either been changed or removed from the game entirely, but existed at one point in time. At number 1, we have the old dorm rooms. When the game first came out, there was no housing system, so you were stuck with a pre-made dorm room with a bunch of knickknacks from across the known spiral worlds at the time. These dorm rooms simply served as a means to get back to your teachers when it was time to train or get to a class quest. The boys' dorm and the girls' dorm both look different as well. However, in May 2009, the Castles and Lands update was released, which added the housing system we know today. With this change, the dorm rooms were completely wiped clean of the old layouts, with no way of getting back to them. It'd be cool to have this layout as an option, but nobody really stays in their dorms very long, plus this feature effectively killed those tower parties that used to happen in Ravenwood. At number 2, we have voiced teachers. For a few months after the game launched, all the dialogue in the game was voiceless and needed to be read. However, this did not exist with Ravenwood's teachers and opening sequence, as they all had voices. I found this old playthrough by AdamBinder123 that actually showcases a Melinda Wu with voice dialogue.
Good to see you.
I remember Cyrus Drake once telling me I thought I locked that door. Around when voiceovers were first added in the May 2009 update, their voices straight up disappeared. To this day, I'm not entirely sure why they disappeared. At number 3, we have no quest tracker. Everyone knows that little yellow arrow that points you to most of your quests. But that did not exist when the game first launched. Often, you'd be running around the streets looking for your blue window or quest mob in order to progress, with the only information you had being what you were told. In April 2009, that changed when they added the little quest arrow we know and love. In all honesty, for a game like Wizard101, I think it makes sense to have a quest tracker. It's convenient to have, and there's no real exploration aspect to Wizard101 beyond unlocking a new world and new zone within said world. At number 4, we have an old bug. The pre-battle rotation bug let you rotate your character once you spawned a dual circle, but before the battle actually started. Unfortunately, I was not able to get footage of this. If you held down your left and right mouse buttons and turned your mouse, you could actually face your character away from the dual circle. Now, this didn't actually make your spells move over or get into a new spot or anything, but it allowed you to put your cast animation somewhere else. This was patched well over a decade ago, but I will always have fond memories of this little fun bug. At number 5, we have the spell Wild Bolt. This is a spell card rewarded to storm players after completing the quest Bad News, and what it does is deal 10 storm damage, 100 storm damage, or 1000 storm damage with a 70% accuracy as its default. However, the original Wild Bolt did only 1000 damage, but had only 10% accuracy. I do remember other wizards using plenty of accuracy boosters to get this card to go off, especially in PvP. This was a very popular troll card from low-level players in PvP, as it was a cheap buy and only required 1 power pip. Overall, the nerf stinks, but given today's Wizard101 environment, this would be extremely broken in PvP, so it makes total sense why it was nerfed. At number 6, we have Quest Finder. This feature was released in November 2013 and is quintessential for getting world completion badges. What it does is point you in the direction of any side quest that needs doing in whatever world you are currently visiting. Before this existed, you'd have to go run away on entire streets looking for that one quest you were missing. As someone who played back in the OG days, this was especially true in Mushu with the Emerald Champion badge. This is a badge that requires you to complete all of Mushu's quests, including all the side quests. There was a quest chain to help the elementals Mossback, Oakheart, and Wavebringer. Oakheart was situated deep inside the Tree of Life, totally out of way of the usual person running it. With that, the quest couldn't be found unless you spent a lot of time searching or reading comments and messages on forums. With Quest Finder, this completely eliminated that need to search these quests out and probably caused a humongous uptick in Emerald Champions. At number 7, we have the original worlds when the game first launched. This is a quick one, as we have so many worlds now, but the first worlds players could visit were the worlds Wizard City, Krakatopia, Marleybone, and Mushu. Dragonspire was later added in January 2009, so once you completed the quest, The Key at Last, you had to wait until Dragonspire was released. Obviously, we are well past the days of 4 worlds, but it's interesting to see just how small the game started compared to what we see today. At number 8, we have the old pets. At first, Pets did absolutely nothing, offered no stats, and were just little companions you had that joined you on your adventures. However, in April 2009, the level 48 pets were added into the game. These pets included high-level spells for combat. There also existed some pets that granted cards for being equipped. In May 2010, in the Advanced Pets update, they introduced the pet system as we have it today, which included the Pet Pavilion. As far as I can remember, this gate was here originally, but it was always completely locked. There was also a bug that existed for a very brief period of time with the old pets in which they all had the name Baby Abby, but this was long before the update came out. Going back to number 2, at number 9, we have voiced dialogue. I mentioned that before that only teachers in the opening had voice dialogue.
Their names are Edo, Nebbit, Shy, and Akori. Defeat them, and the barrier will be broken down.
The first 2 worlds to get voices, Wizard City and Krokotopia, didn't get voices until March 2009, and then the rest at the time, which included Dragonspire, up to May 2009. The NPCs were all quiet, and you had to read things in order to understand things. The voices do add a lot more character to the game, and it's hard to imagine a time when NPCs were all just statues. And finally, at number 10, we have the Crown Shop. This was added in October 2009, and it is a very highly controversial topic depending on whoever is talking about it. It is by all accounts the in-game cash shop. It allows you to buy stitch sets, mounts, stat gear, houses, henchmen, elixirs, and so forth. It has gotten a lot of flack for being pay to win, which I can totally see. However, I think it is overall good for the game as a whole, as it keeps the game running monetarily, speaking aside from membership dues. But the loot box, I mean the card packs, and the statted gear, despite how trash some of it is, definitely does not lend itself too well to the credibility of the shop. Alright, and that was 10 things that have either changed or been added in the span of Wizard 101. The game has been out for such a long time that there's a really fascinating history behind it. If you have more to add, then please leave a comment. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.